Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NBA Stories. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest stories in the NBA right now. Luka Doncic in a Lakers uniform, and the burning question every basketball fan is asking, could Luka win the 2025-26 MVP while wearing purple and gold? This video isn't just about numbers or stats. It's about basketball emotion, narrative, and how a player's story can define an entire season. So grab a drink, sit back, and let's break this down together. First, let's set the stage. The Lakers are the league's most iconic franchise. The lights, the banners, the history. Now imagine adding one of the most gifted offensive players of his generation to that backdrop. Luka Doncic has always had the game of an MVP. Incredible scoring instincts, elite passing vision, and a rhythm that makes defenders look lost. But in Los Angeles, his performances are no longer just games, they're events. Every 40-point night will dominate headlines. Every game winner will trend on social media. Visibility matters in the MVP race, and no team gives you more spotlight than the Lakers. However, visibility alone isn't enough. To win MVP, Luka has to combine individual brilliance with team success. MVP voters don't just reward great players, they reward players who lift their teams to elite levels. Luka already checks the star numbers box. He's a walking triple-double threat and a playmaker who controls the pace like a conductor leading an orchestra. The next step is transforming that brilliance into wins. If the Lakers finish with one of the top records in the Western Conference, Luka's case becomes undeniable. A 3-0 point per game average means more when your team is sitting at the top of the standings. But if the Lakers struggle to find consistency, if defense collapses or injuries pile up, even Luka's greatness might not be enough to sway voters. That's the cruel part of the MVP race. It rewards the story, not just the stats. Let's talk about the story. Narrative is powerful in sports. Luka's move to the Lakers already creates an emotional arc. The young star joining the league's most storied franchise, sharing a locker room with legends, carrying the torch into a new era. If this season unfolds with highlight after highlight, game winners, clutch performances, nights where he simply takes over the league, that narrative will snowball. People will start talking about Luka not just as a superstar, but as the face of the next generation. And that's how MVP stories are written. Through moments that feel bigger than the box score. But the path won't be easy. The MVP race is stacked. Other superstars will post insane numbers while leading their teams to dominance. Big men with unstoppable post play, guards who drop triple doubles like clockwork. Competition will be fierce. Luka's weaknesses are also under the microscope. Turnovers, defense, and occasional frustration with officiating. Those moments can hurt perception. In Los Angeles, everything is magnified. Every missed rotation, every argument with referees becomes national news. To truly own the MVP narrative, Luka will need to show maturity, control over his emotions, leadership in tough stretches, and trust in his teammates. That's how you turn talent into legacy. Now, let's think about what Luka actually needs to do statistically. He'll need to stay around 30 points per game while keeping his shooting efficiency high, especially from three. The assists have to remain elite, ideally above 8 per game, but turnovers must go down. That shows growth, discipline, and command of the offense. Rebounding and defensive energy will also matter. MVP voters love seeing stars impact the game in every area. If Luka improves his defense even slightly, showing better awareness, more communication, more hustle, it'll silence a lot of critics. And team chemistry will be a huge factor. Luka can't win MVP alone. The Lakers need the right pieces around him, shooters to stretch the floor, defenders to back him up, and a coach who gives him the freedom to be himself while keeping the system balanced. If the spacing is there and his teammates convert open shots, Luka's assists will skyrocket. That makes the Lakers' offense not just efficient, but terrifying. But if spacing collapses, if defenses can double team him easily, his stats might look huge but hollow, and MVP voters notice that. So in many ways, Luka's MVP dream depends not only on him, but on how well the Lakers support him. And let's talk about something every fan worries about: health. Luka has had some nagging injuries before: calf, ankle, fatigue from heavy minutes. To be an MVP, he has to be available. You can't win the award if you miss 15, 20 games. No matter how good your averages look, the Lakers medical team will need to manage him smartly, strategic rest, strong conditioning, and keeping him fresh for big national TV matchups. Luka has to strike the right balance, play enough to build momentum, but not so much that he burns out before April. And there's also the emotional side of it. Picture this, a packed crypto arena. Late in the fourth quarter, Lakers down by 1. Luka dribbles at the top, clock winding down, a defender in his face. Step back 3, bang. The crowd explodes. Moments like that create magic. Those are the plays that voters remember, not the routine 25-point nights in January, but the breathtaking clutch performances under the bright lights. That's the Luka Doncic experience. And in the Lakers spotlight, every one of those moments hits 10 times harder. But let's be honest, this could go either way. Luka could end up having one of the most memorable seasons in recent NBA history, or he could fall short because of team struggles or fatigue. But the potential is incredible. He's already proven he can dominate any defense, dictate any pace, and create offense out of thin air. The question is whether he can now lead a winning team while doing it. The kind of team that makes voters say he's the best player in the world and the leader of a top contender. That's the difference between being a superstar and being an MVP. That's the difference between being a superstar and being an MVP. So, what will decide Luka's MVP fate this season? Here's the checklist. 1, keep the Lakers near the top of the West. 2, stay healthy and consistent all year. 3, improve defense and leadership presence. 4, deliver those unforgettable MVP moments on national TV. And most importantly, make his teammates better every night. If he does those 5 things, there's a real chance we'll be hearing his name called at the end of the season. To wrap this up, Luka's journey in Los Angeles isn't just about trophies. It's about legacy. It's about taking his game, his confidence, and his story to the next level, from being a generational talent to becoming the defining player of an era. And whether you're a Lakers fan or not, you have to admit the thought of Luka Doncic leading the Lakers, chasing MVP glory under the bright lights of Hollywood, that's something special. It's the kind of story basketball was made for. Thank you for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more NBA breakdowns, and drop a comment below. Do you think Luka will actually win MVP this season, or will someone else steal the spotlight? Thanks for spending your time with me today, and as always, stay tuned for the next episode. See you soon.